What does the term vegetation mean?
Vegetation is a general term for the total plant cover in an area or on the surface of the earth as a whole. Natural vegetation refers to the plants that are in a location due to nature rather than to the activity of humans. Because little of the world's natural vegetation is completely untouched, the term applies to all vegetation that is not deliberately managed or controlled by people in agricultural activities. There are 4 types of vegetation regions in which there is a predominant type of vegetation. These include forests, grasslands, deserts, and tundra regions.
What are forests?
A forest region is a large area covered with trees grouped in large amounts so that their foliage shades the ground. There are 4 major types of trees found in forests. They include broadleaf, deciduous, evergreen, and coniferous. Some trees may belong to more than one category. An example would be the maple tree. It is both a broadleaf and a deciduous tree at the same time. Broadleaf trees have wide, flat leaves. These types of trees are the most numerous and varied of the world's trees. They include ashes, elms, maples, oaks, willows, mahogany, mangroves, beeches, and cottonwoods. These types of trees can be found in southern Canada, southern Siberia, and only in some parts of the eastern United States. Deciduous trees lose their leaves during portions of the year, usually beginning in the autumn months. They include aspens, maples, oak, poplars, ash, beech, hickory, basswood, and birches. The leaves of many deciduous trees turn brilliant colors, such as shades of red, orange, or yellow before they fall to the ground. Evergreen trees shed and replace some of their leaves while maintaining green all year long. There are about 500 species of evergreen trees. Trees that are considered evergreens include firs, hemlocks, pines, redwoods, cedars, and spruces. Most evergreens produce their seeds in cones and therefore can be also classified as coniferous. Most coniferous trees grow north of the equator. There are several types of forests: tropical rainforest, tropical deciduous forest, temperate deciduous forest, temperate evergreen forest, and needle-leaf evergreen or boreal forest of the subarctic regions. Let's take a brief look at each type of forest. Tropical rainforests occur in South America, Central America, Central Africa, and Southeast Asia. The largest rainforest is in South America. This dense forest in the Amazon region is sometimes referred to as the selva. About half of all the world's plant and animal species live in tropical rainforests. The top of the rainforest is called the upper canopy. These trees can reach as high as 100 to 150 feet. Some trees, called emergents, may tower above the other trees in the upper canopy. Some of the most well-known of the rainforest trees include mahogany and teak. Other types of vegetation found in rainforests include the plants that grow on tree branches, such as epiphytes or air plants. Tropical deciduous forests can be found in parts of Central and South America, Southern Africa, and India. These forests are different from tropical rainforests because they exist in regions where the rainfall is more seasonal, or where the majority of the rainfall comes during a certain time of the year. They include the plumeria and the tabebuya. Temperate deciduous forests occur in the eastern part of the United States, in Western Europe, and in Eastern Asia. These regions experience warm summers and cold winters. 2 or 3 species of trees usually dominate these forests, even though there may be other species present. Some of these dominant species include basswoods, beeches, maples, and oaks. Temperate evergreen forests have a large number of species of plant life. Some are mostly needleleaf, while others are mainly broadleaf evergreens. Mountainous temperate evergreen forests are mainly conifers, while the coastal forests, like those found in Australia and New Zealand, are broadleaf evergreens. Temperate evergreen forests are common to coastal areas that have mild winters and receive a lot of rainfall. You can find examples of this type of forest along the coastal areas of the Gulf of Mexico and in the Pacific Northwest region of the United States. The last type of forest is the needle-leaf evergreen forest, sometimes referred to as the boreal forests. These are high-latitude conifer forests that occupy the northern regions of North America, Europe, and Asia. They can also be called taiga and are adjacent to the tundra vegetation regions. They exist in areas that have extremely cold winters and short, cool summers.
What are grasslands?
There are 3 main types of grasslands: steppes, prairies, and tropical savannas. All in all, there are about 8,000 species of grasses. Steppes are semi-arid grasslands with short grasses. They're found in dry areas that have hot summers and cold winters. Usually they receive 10 to 20 inches of rain a year. You will find this type of grassland in parts of the Great Plains of the United States, in the western part of the Pampa region in Argentina, in the Veldt of South Africa, and in Eurasia from southern Ukraine to the central part of Asia. Today, most steppe regions are used to graze livestock and to grow crops such as wheat. Prairies are different from the steppes in 2 essential ways. They receive more rain than steppe regions, and they're also characterized by tall grasses. Large prairies can be found in the midwestern part of North America, in the eastern part of the Pampa region in Argentina, in parts of Central Europe, and in northeastern China. Farming and ranching are the primary activities found in the prairie regions of the world. Tropical savannas have a dry winter season and a rainy summer, and are found in areas that have a warm climate. Areas where tropical savannas can be found are the Llanos in Venezuela, the Campos in southern Brazil, many regions in Africa south of the Sahara Desert, in the northwestern part of the Deccan Plateau region of India, and in parts of eastern Australia. They are considered a transition zone between other grasslands and forests. Some tropical savanna regions are used to graze cattle and other livestock.
What are deserts and what types of vegetation can be found there?
A desert is a region that receives 10 inches or less of rainfall a year. Deserts occupy about 1/5 of the Earth's land surface. There are several types of deserts, but most can be classified as subtropical deserts. This would include the Sahara, the Kalahari, and the desert regions found in Australia. Coastal deserts can be found along the coasts of continents where you would experience cold ocean currents. The Atacama Desert in Chile and the Namib Desert in southwestern Africa are examples of this type of desert. Rain-shadowed deserts occur near the leeward side of mountain ranges, facing away from the prevailing winds that bring moisture. Patagonia in southern South America is one example of this type of desert. Interior deserts, like the Gobi Desert in Asia, are located so far inland that rain cannot reach them. Polar deserts exist in the Arctic region and in Antarctica. They qualify as deserts because it rarely even snows because it's so cold. Desert plants are widely spaced so they can obtain as much water as possible and don't have to compete with each other for this precious resource. desert plants are typically xerophytes, which translated means dry plants. Some plants, like the saguaro cactus, have shallow, wide-spreading root systems that fan out to collect water quickly when there's rainfall. Others, like the mesquite tree, have deep roots that can extend deep down to reach sources of water beneath the desert, even over 100 feet down.
What is a tundra region?
The term tundra refers to a cold region that is characterized by low vegetation. Plants are limited in number in these areas because of the climate. There are two types of tundra regions: alpine tundra and Arctic tundra. Alpine tundra occurs at high elevations above the timberline. The timberline is the upper limit of tree growth on a mountain. There are approximately 4 million square miles of alpine tundra on the surface of the Earth. Arctic tundra is found in the extreme northern latitudes and cover about 6 million square miles, or 10% of the Earth's surface. One major characteristic of this region is permafrost. Permafrost refers to a subsurface layer of permanently frozen ground. Sometimes this permafrost can reach down 1,500 feet below the land's surface. Only hardy plants can survive in these locations.
What are some interesting fun facts about Earth's types of vegetation?
The biggest trees in the world are the redwoods that can be found in California. Some of these trees can reach heights over 360 feet. The General Sherman tree, a giant sequoia in California's Sequoia National Park, is considered the world's largest living thing on land. It has a trunk approximately 37 feet wide and is over 270 feet high. Experts believe this tree dates from before 200 BC. The century plant, also called the agave, only blooms about once every 100 years. The oldest living species of trees is a holdover from the Mesozoic era. It is called ginkgos. Ginkgos were deciduous plants with broad subdivided leaves. The only one of these species that still survives is the ginkgo biloba, sometimes called the living maidenhair tree. While looking at the different types of vegetation in this video, you probably noticed that different parts of the world have their own unique vegetative signature. This type of natural vegetation found in a region depends on that region's location, climate, soil type, and landforms. Here's an assignment for you. The next time you open an atlas or your textbook, compare the map of the world's soil regions with the natural vegetation regions. See what kinds of soils are common to rainforests or deserts or tundra regions. After doing these comparisons, you'll see that a place's physical characteristics, including vegetation, are the result of a combination of several different factors. All these factors make up the complex miracle that we call planet Earth.